self-doubt.
Yeah, sweet.
Self-doubt, sweet. Who's revving?
Legit.
Yeah.
But what was the question?
Hi guys, welcome back to Built Radio. I'm Annika.
I'm Megan.
And I'm Jasmine.
And today we're gonna have a chat with Jasmine here about her businesses and young people in the industry.
Yeah, so Jasmine is 17 and she already has 3 businesses. So do you just want to tell us a little bit more about you to start with?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm 17. I have a personal training business. I'm a full-time PT, and on the side, I also do run a bit of a photography business, and I do lash extensions as well. So I did drop out of school early just to pursue kind of like what I wanted to achieve. I come from a background of bikini bodybuilding, so I did my first show at 14, all through like flexible dieting, like proper science-based protocols, and now I just coach other people to kind of do the same. I am coaching a few girls as well to actually compete this next season, season A. This season. So that's, I guess, is a bit about me. But yeah.
Yeah, so I've been following Jasmine, I think like since she was 14, and that was like before I ever competed when I was 17. And I thought I was young wanting to do it, and then I saw her and I just thought it was like so inspiring.
Aww.
And I've kind of like, she has a YouTube channel and Instagram and stuff, so I've kind of followed her through there, and it's been awesome to watch her like grow and become a PT and stuff like that.
Amazing.
So I feel like you and I have kind of had like similar
kind of journey. Yeah.
Just like starting off super young.
Definitely.
So yeah, I just kind of wanted to chat to Jasmine about all that kind of thing. So let's just get into it. I want to know, how did you kind of start these businesses, and how the hell do you manage to run 3?
Well, okay, cool. So I would honestly, because it is just all working for myself, I would say it's a little bit easier than working like a full-time job working for someone else and then having a side hustle. Because I have 3 businesses which I work for myself, then I can kind of like schedule them around like my own flexibility there, I guess. So I have got my full-time PT business, which I'm kind of working like mornings and afternoons with, so kind of during peak hours, and then I've got middle of the days free. So generally I will have a lash client when I finish up at work in the mornings with PT, so generally about 11. Obviously that's only like an hour and a half. Then I go train myself, and then I'm generally back in the afternoon for PT clients. Photography, that's kind of only something I do maybe once a month or every few weeks, just kind of depends on the situation. Getting into PT, personal training, I've always been into fitness since I was very young, so it's always been something I've really wanted to do. So it was just kind of starting PT, as you know, is like never easy to get started. It's kind of a long process.
I don't know why I'm nodding my head.
I feel like,
just building that one up. Obviously you've got like your free rent period when you do first start, so utilizing that to send out messages and kind of like making yourself known at the gym. I was thankful that I was already working in the office previously before I got my Cert 4, so
wow, that's great.
everyone already knew who I was in the gym.
Yeah.
And then I already had posters up, that kind of thing. So and then obviously with like kind of my Instagram following, I could kind of advertise my photography and my lashes as well. So they all kind of work hand in hand as well, because I will mention to one of my PT clients, I'm doing lashes or I'm doing photography. A lot of gym girls like to have lashes because we don't wear makeup, and a lot of fit girls will like to have a photo shoot. I've done photo shoots for all of my friends.
It all kind of like meshes together.
Yeah,
hey?
so it works out pretty well.
Yeah, you've definitely like got the right idea happening.
Yeah.
So what made you kind of get into the fitness side of things, and what made you want to compete so young?
Yep. I've been training since I was honestly about 11.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Both of my parents were doing boot camps and whatnot just to like lose weight, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I kind of just joined in with them doing boot camps. That's all I had known, and I like thought it was really fun.
Yeah.
I was like not a sporty kid at school. People always like say that they come from like a really sporty background when they were a kid. Like I was like not a sporty kid despite like training so young. Like I've never thought of myself as like an athletic kid. I don't know.
Okay.
I used to do boot camps with them. Like I used to do boot camps 3 times a week, and it always kind of transitioned from like just doing boot camps at someone's home, and then that trainer had gone to a gym, so we followed him and did the group classes, and then I slowly transitioned into weight training. So I was like about 12 when I actually started weight training.
Yeah.
Had a gym here, like literally in Ormo. It's like an older gym, doesn't exist anymore. And I was training there. I was following a lot of girls on Instagram, and they were competing, and I found out that like how beneficial weights was. So, yeah, I guess I kind of like fell into like wanting to coach people. Like obviously it's been so many years now, like 6 years since I've like actually been training for. And yeah, I did my first show at 14 with like the help of like one of my coaches. She guided me. So it was just kind of like a gradual process of me wanting to, you know, lead up to wanting to compete so young and just kind of like set myself a challenge.
Yeah.
So,
I was so similar in the fact that like I kind of just found people online who were doing it and just almost fell into it.
Exactly.
As weird as that sounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't even know how it happens, but it just does.
Yeah, it's a gradual kind of thing.
Yeah,
definitely.
Sure. So with that side of things, because you were so young, did you actually find you had any effect on your health?
Good question. I would say like not necessarily, but maybe. It's hard to tell. In terms of my period, so I did a show when I was 14, and then a year later I did 2 shows when I was 15, like kind of back to back.
Yeah.
I hadn't gotten my period until after that show when I was 15, and I only got it
like naturally, like you didn't take the pill.
No, I only got it because I started taking the pill.
Oh wow.
Okay, yeah.
Obviously, like I went to the doctors and like said like what's happening kind of thing, because obviously like dieting's like not great, especially when you're growing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And like we did all my bloods and everything was like completely fine. I was already like pretty smart about it. Like
okay, good.
I knew the effects of it.
Yeah.
And I had a really good coach as well.
That's good.
Obviously, no matter what, it's not going to be healthy though.
Yeah,
you don't
sure.
But the doctor put me on the pill just to kind of kickstart. I've still been on it since, and I've had no issues. But
did you have your period before you ever started competing?
So yeah, kind of.
Kind of.
So I had it. This is really weird. I had it once.
You said you were smart about it. Does that mean you kind of knew that was kind of something that could affect you before you got into it?
Yeah, definitely. Like so many people would say, "Oh, like careful with your weight training. It's going to stunt your growth." But there's no actual studies to show that it will stunt your growth. Like I lifted smart.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of studies to show that how beneficial it is for, you know, teenagers to do weight training. So it was like one of those like myths in the fitness industry that like weight training stunts your growth. And you also see like a lot of jacked teenagers as well, which is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you see them like 30 years later and they're like fine. They've been training since they were like 13 as well. You know, you kind of see that.
A lot of kids in my high school now, they're I don't go to high school anymore, but like I was helping on the weekend, and they were saying that so many kids in grade 8 and 9 are doing CrossFit and like actual powerlifting, getting ready for Olympics and stuff. And I was like, where was this when I was in high school? What's going on?
For sure. So I think it's one of those risks, but like it all works out. Like
fair enough.
Yeah.
So you don't regret that at all?
No, definitely not.
Okay,
I think I've only
good.
like grown from it as a person.
Moving on, now I want to know, did you have any kind of obstacles or challenges that you had to face when you were starting your businesses?
Yes. So the first business I started was like my PT business, which is always very scary when you first start out. I was like pretty close with the other PTs at my gym, and like I'm best friends with them now, because I was working in the office. I already knew them, and they're already PTing. I'm like, what if I can't get the clients? Because they were already struggling as it is. Like I've only got like 2 weeks of free rent. Like what if I just don't have an income? Like obviously you have all those thoughts that come to your head, and it's not like I gradually just did a few hours in the office and then PT. It was just like stopping in the office, straight into PT. I'm paying rent in 2 weeks. Like, I gotta find the clients. I've gotta pay rent. But honestly, like, I just put my head to it and just sent out as many text messages as possible, had like free consults, and it all honestly kind of worked out. So I guess it's just kind of that self-doubt that you have when you do first start, and like taking a risk, like, is it gonna work? Like, what if it doesn't, kind of thing. But yeah, I think like if you're consistent enough and you push through, like, you'll have those bad weeks, but you'll have those like amazing weeks as well. So yeah.
Who's revving the
Legit.
motorcycle?
Yeah. Can you hear that?
Like, we get it.
Yeah.
We have a
cool.
bike.
Wow. And what about your other two businesses? Because obviously they're completely different to PT.
Yep.
What did you actually have to do to become a photographer and do lashes, and what obstacles did you have with that?
Yeah, okay, cool. So photography, I started before lashes. Lashes is still pretty new. But photography, I do not have any qualifications. It's just all kind of like self-taught. My partner is like photographer, videographer kind of thing as well. So he kind of helps me out a little bit, but honestly, like YouTube videos, I went to a couple workshops as well. But other than that, it's literally just like playing around with your camera.
Oh, that's so cool.
I did like one free photo shoot, and then after that I had like 1 month where I was offering like $50 shoots.
Yeah.
And I would give them like all the raw edits as well.
Yeah.
So, to be honest, like, it's not that hard.
Okay,
Once
fair.
you like know the settings and like what to do. And like when I first started, because if you put it on auto, you can kind of like see what settings it's already on, and then you can switch it back and be like, okay, so I need to like change the ISOs, this and that, and yeah. So it was just learning the camera for me. So like it took some time, and then just starting an Instagram page and then publishing like the free shoots I did and the cheap ones and whatnot. And then for eyelashes, so that's still like reasonably new. I've like only been doing that for like a month and a half now. So that one I just like paid a course, so I got qualified through there. But most lash extension courses are only like 1 to 2 day courses. So
sweet.
after that, you literally have to just like practice on so many people. So I'm still practicing. That's why I'm still charging super cheap.
Practicing. Let's get our lashes done while we're golfing.
So yeah, I guess just trying to like pick the time up and all that with the lashes, and then just posting work. It's crazy how like quickly the lash extension business is picking up. Like,
yeah, it looks that way. Hey,
I get like at least like 2 messages. Like, I have like no posts on my Instagram, but I get like 2 messages a day of people wanting lashes.
That's so good.
Yeah, so every second girl has lash extensions nowadays.
Yeah,
so
I love that. So I know you have like this big following. Did that just come naturally to you, or did you kind of network and use things to your advantage and stuff like that? Like, how did that kind of come about?
Yeah, so I've had my Instagram since I was like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
My dad was the one who told me, like, you should start an Instagram
Really?
and post like healthy recipes.
That's so cute.
Yeah, kind of like a healthy like little blog. I was like, okay, I did that, and just like like if you scroll way back to my Instagram, it's just like all foodie posts. It's just like healthy like yogurt and like music. It's like posts from like 2014 kind of thing.
Yeah.
But what was the question?
Like, how did that just come about naturally, or did you kind of network and do different
Instagram
things?
followers. Okay, okay. So yeah, I've had Instagram for a super long time now. And then obviously like competing, every time I've done a show, like your Instagram grows so much.
It does, yeah.
Which is so annoying. Then you put on weight and then it just goes
I
quiet.
know, no one cares about you.
That's what it is. And then I don't have a flash Instagram. Like my Instagram's like, I just like, honestly, I think like quantity over quality. Like if you can like constantly like post more photos, I found this has worked for me anyway.
Yeah.
Like if you can like post 2 to 3 times a day, like more people will see you.
Yeah.
It's not just like if you have like that one like good,
Photo.
really good photo.
Yeah, fair enough.
And like, yeah, I get like heaps of likes on those ones and like really good engagement from those, but then I also have like little bits of engagement from other places, and like,
fair.
so I think just like literally like quantity over quality, because people will always say the opposite, but yeah, like with the whole new Instagram algorithm.
The algorithm sucks.
Yeah,
so
it's like
bad.
you won't show up, so it's like you gotta do
No.
as much as you can, and then like use everything, because Instagram like acknowledges you more, like if you use all the tools. So like posting Insta stories, like I don't do IGTV is like the last thing like I've ever done, but like DMs, like commenting back to people, and just like use the explore page and stuff. Like I'm always on Instagram, so
that's so fair.
yeah. So I guess just kind of over the years, like honestly, like for how long I've had it, my following's still like pretty small. But yeah, we're getting there, and like hashtags and stuff. I always use those, just copy and paste it, and then like the locations as well. Always like pretty helps. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
That's so fair. Alright, so next question. I want to know, like, obviously you have these 3 businesses, everything's like going really well. How do you actually have a social life and hit your personal goals on top of that?
And have a boyfriend for like,
Legit,
what, 2
it always
years?
seems like you're so busy. How do you actually get your own time?
Yeah, okay. I love being busy, and I also love being by myself. So if I, like, okay, so my best, like, literally, like, my bestest friends, like, are the PTs at the gym. Like,
really?
We are so close. So we get to, like, talk all the time, and I'll always, like, stay back an extra half an hour just so we can talk kind of thing. So that's kind of, like, social life. My partner, we did long distance for 1.5 years, so like I didn't see him anyway. Yeah. And then I'll just go over his on like weekends, or like whenever like I don't have clients in the morning, or like I kind of shuffle that around.
Okay.
And what else? I'm going to like a 21st birthday tonight, which is like the first party I've gone into in months, but I'm just not a party person. Like, I don't get invited to much. I don't talk to many.
Same.
I don't talk to many other people. Like, if it's not in the fitness industry, and so like we'll just go to the gym and hang out. So it kind of like works within my schedule. And if it doesn't, like, then we can't be friends.
Well, you're a hardworking girl. You know, you're focused on your business. You're young.
Yeah.
Like, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So would you say you just love surrounding yourself with people who are kind of into the same thing?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I don't feel like I like don't have a social life. Like, I feel like I'm like, reasonably social.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, like I don't feel like I like never have time for anyone or anything. Like I can make it work. Like it's the same thing. Like you've got your own like business, or you've got your own hours, so you can kind of like fit it in when you can.
I feel like with someone like as young as you and has as much success as you right now, I don't feel like, well, at least I don't think you feel like you're missing out on much with like parties and stuff. I'd rather be in your shoes.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so even though you're like pretty happy with where your social life and everything like that is at, has there ever been times where you have felt, I don't know, maybe like super stressed and overwhelmed with everything, or like you just wanted to take a step back?
Yeah. So the time I've like most ever felt like overwhelmed and like kind of like depressed was like when I did hairdressing. So when I dropped out of school after I finished grade 10, I started an apprenticeship in hairdressing, and that was full-time work, and I was in prep, like contest prep then as well. And that was like the hardest thing I have ever like done. That's when I was like 15. So like the second and third show I did. Like, they were long days, and obviously I wasn't old enough to have my license, so the salon was down in Pack Fair, so it was a long, like, public transport there, so it was, like, literally 2 buses and a train, occasional Uber, so it was 2 hours to work, so I'd wake up at 4 a.m, go to my training,
Jesus.
I would come home, quickly get ready, like pack all like my food for the day. Obviously, you had to have your pack meals. I would leave here at 7 to go catch a 7:15 train. Yeah. And then 2-hour like transport journey, and then work like 9 to 5:30. Bus wouldn't come till 6:30. Like 2 hours home.
God.
Wouldn't get home till like 8:30. Then I would have to go do like my cardio. That was like the most, and that was like working for someone else. So that's wasn't even like when I had my own businesses.
Yeah. Your transport already sounds like cardio.
Yeah.
To me. Like, 2
I
hours cardio
remember
already.
hearing that kind of thing. I was like, oh my God.
It was like, I didn't realize like how bad it was until like I started my own business.
Yeah.
Like running your own business is hard, don't get me wrong. Like there's a lot of things that you have to do in your own time. But that was a different story.
That's so fair. And I guess like because you've been through that, you can kind of like appreciate what you have now?
Every day, like, I'm so thankful for my job. And because, like, you know what prep's like, you get all the prep feels. I would, like, go cry in the bathroom just for, like, I dropped a hairbrush.
But I guess that's probably why you're so successful now, because your time management must be so crazy. Because you started at such a young age and you have to be so on top of everything, get everywhere on time.
For sure.
Wow.
And hairdressing was such an active job as well. I would seriously, like, you know how, like, obviously, like, your coach would have, like, increased your steps by the end of it. I was doing, like, 30k steps just because, like, hairdressing was so active, and then, like, obviously I had to increase that. So I'd do, like, steps around this, like, little roundabout here.
Oh, wow. That is hectic.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, wow.
I had some sore feet.
Yeah, you would have. Oh, wow. So, I could actually, like, relate to some of that in the sense that last time I was prepping, I was working in food and beverage. I was working in a hotel, and I was going to TAFE studying my certs at the same time.
Okay.
Like, had to catch the train, like, over an hour to TAFE, then be, like, going home at night, and then train, and then wake up at 4 a.m. the next day to go to work, because I'd start at 6, like, that kind of thing.
The things you do, like, you look back at it, and you're like, did I do that?
Legit. It's like, how did I do that?
I know.
and yeah, like, with, like, feeling down with that kind of thing, I get it, because I remember, like, specifically just mopping the floor one day, and I was like, I hate this because I'm literally not helping anyone.
Right?
Like, I could, like, see my, like, future career that I wanted to, like, help people and stuff, and I was just there mopping a floor, and it was...
It's so bad.
It's so hard to put yourself through that, so I totally get
it's one of, like, it's necessary, though. Like, it's one of those things that you, like, you have to do to, like, get what you want.
I guess it's, like, a learning experience. Yeah.
It's shit, though, but...
I always say, like...
I guess it makes you work harder, though. Like.
Yeah, for sure. I always think, like, I don't think I could ever go back to working for someone else, or at least, like, not having a job in hospitality or something like that.
Exactly.
I want to know, have you ever had any kind of backlash from just people or clients or just anyone in the industries you're in, kind of questioning your knowledge and questioning your kind of qualifications and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. When I was first in prep for, like, my very first show at 14, like, even, like my parents are the most supportive people in the world, but even them, they were like, you're going to be up against, you know, people who are, like, 20 plus than you, because there was, I did A and B for my very first show, and there was no first timers category, so I was seriously, like, up against people who had competed before and everything. They're like, are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah.
And that's not great when you're, like, second guessing yourself as well.
Yeah.
And then, are you gonna, like, look as good as them? Like, people would say that to me. But
it's brutal.
I know.
Yeah. So there was that, and that's kind of one of those things I just kind of had to, like, block out and, like, do it for me. And in terms of clients, I do not tell my clients my age.
Okay, that was my next question.
Yeah.
Because, I try not to either.
No, I never do. One client... There's a couple clients who do know, just because they're, like, pretty good at stalking my Instagram.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't show it on my Instagram either.
Yeah.
I used to, like, back in the day.
Yeah.
But, like, I even, like, people do look down at you for being so young in the industry.
100%.
Like, I wouldn't want to coach you 17. Like,
Yeah, fair.
there's no way.
Yeah.
But, like, I do have the years of experience, and, like, I know, like, my value. One client asked me once, like, how old are you? Like, the first thing that came out of my mouth was 22.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I wasn't going to tell them my
Oh, I love that.
because I was even, like, 16, like, not
Yeah.
long ago when I was PTing too, so...
Yeah.
Like,
And as soon as people hear that, they're like, oh my god.
which I get it, like...
Yeah,
imagine, like, I wouldn't hire a PT who's 16. Like,
it's frustrating though that that's a big thing because like I try not to tell people my age either. Like especially last year when I was only 18 as a PT. But the annoying thing is I remember they're not my client anymore obviously, but like I was training this one person. I think I'd been training her for like maybe a month, and she clearly really enjoyed like my training, and like she was getting results, stuff like that. We really got along. And then one day she was just like, oh, how old are you? And I was like, oh, I'm 18. And then she completely changed. Like everything about her just changed, and she got
Crazy,
so turned off.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me because I had literally given her like such a good standard of training,
Yeah.
and I had done nothing to show that like my age makes any difference, and clearly I was like still a good trainer.
Fair enough if she wasn't getting results, or if like she got injured or like anything.
Yeah, but the fact that she just completely did a 180 like that, it hurts me.
I genuinely believe, like, don't tell them your age, like, lie, like, because, like, you can get the results and you know, like, they're in good hands. Like, if anything, like, there's a lot of shit coaches out there, and, like, she might have gone to, like, someone else at some other gym who's, like, telling them, like, keto and, like, faster cardio and, like, whatever.
We hate keto.
I accidentally did keto.
So, like, you want them in your hands because you know you can get them the results the safest and most effective way. So, like, lie. Don't tell them unless they ask, like, and just say
22.
I was still 16 at that time.
Oh my god.
I still laugh
that's
about
amazing.
that. I only trained her a few times. She's like an older lady, so
amazing.
Oh, they're the ones who really look down
they
on you.
do. They like she was like looking through me. I was like,
yeah, it's like she knows.
It's almost like this Pandora's box that you open. And everyone's like,
but just don't tell them.
I feel like it should be more open now, right? Like, I mean, if you have like the years to show for it, like you have like a good track record, like everyone has like, you know, good recommendations towards you,
For
like
sure.
you have great morale with everyone in the gym. Like, what is the difference if you're getting results?
Exactly.
It just happens that she started earlier than everyone else, and she's on top of it and she's getting to it.
And I think that's a good thing if you like start
great
early.
quality for young people.
If you tell your friends, like, they'll be super impressed. Like, as you know, they're like, oh my god, like, that's awesome. But, when, like, if you haven't, like, proved your value first and someone, like, has no idea who you are, and you just tell them, like, they're a PT, they'll be like, oh, what does she know? And then you'll be like, hang on, hold up.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me tell you what I know.
It's just the community nowadays, hey? Like, it's everyone who's young and has a taste of success, it puts a bitter taste in older generations' mouths because they just wish they could have gotten that much success at
that
your
could
age.
Be what it is, hey?
Because, like, look, take Billie Eilish. The amount of backlash that she gets because she started earlier in the, like, industry, and everyone's, like, bagging her, like, oh my gosh, I've been in the music industry for years, and, like, this is not how it goes. I'm like, why? Because she's better than you? Wow.
Exactly.
You just look really bad, and it's not a good color on anyone. Like,
exactly. It's kind of like that quote, you will never be, what is it? You'll never be dragged down by someone higher than you.
It's not unfair that we get to have success because we're putting in the work. And honestly, like, this is a big reason why like we wanted to start the podcast, because people just have this idea of young people and young females that we don't know anything, but clearly we have some stuff to say here.
And it's not that we think
got a voice.
we have a voice.
Exactly.
Like, we're not saying that we know everything either. No. And that's why we have guests, because we want to learn more from other people.
Exactly.
And it can be anyone from any age. Like, we want to learn, but the thing is, we keep getting stopped because they keep saying, why do you need to know this right now? You'll know when you're older. We want to know now.
Exactly.
Like, we want to, we want to be better than what you've achieved at this point. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Yeah, like we're all here just like striving to be the best we can.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the thing. Like, we're totally open. Like, I'm not bagging older people. Like, I'm totally open to learning from anyone. But the thing is, like 9 times out of 10, people who are older than us don't want to learn from us.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, even though you might be older, like age-wise, we still have experience that you might not in certain ways.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's why we can train anyone from any age, because we have that expertise.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so it really should not matter.
I know.
Oh god.
So if anyone older is watching this, please give us a chance.
And we get that we need to be respectful to everyone, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean, like, if you're older than us, you should demand respect, because I find that I go to places and they just demand it and like expect it straight away. But what makes you any different than us? Like,
exactly,
we're
like,
trying to earn your respect.
We need respect as well.
Yeah, like and that's
gotta
no
be
disrespect to
mutual.
anyone else, but why should we like lower our self-worth for your benefit and for your ego?
But yeah, you're like a perfect example of how a young person can really like flourish and like teach other
Thank
people
you.
so much.
And
like
also,
no matter
I'm
what
learning
the
so
age
much
is.
from you guys. So every
Yeah.
podcast we do, so I'm so grateful that I get the opportunity to listen in on how your journey is going. Because like,
Yeah.
Thank you.
wow.
Yeah, it's inspiring.
Thank you.
And I guess moving on to our next thing, what kind of tips would you give someone, maybe young or like just anyone in general, if they wanna start like branching out and becoming an entrepreneur and having their own business? What
Yeah.
kind of tips would you give?
Yep. Okay, cool. I would say, well, you're going to have self-doubt. Push
Yeah.
through, like, write down the reasons, like, why you want it. Know that, like, if it doesn't work out, like, it's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world. A lot of people will say, okay, well, what if it doesn't work out and you've lost your job? It's like, there is literally a million jobs out there. You will get
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
Chances are, if you leave on good terms, your old job's going to want you back. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
you will find a job if you leave your job and try something else and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
The only like way that you can fail is if you give up, because I can guarantee you, like the law of
You
averages.
hear that, people?
Yes.
The only way you can fail is if you give
That
up.
is so true.
Someone write that down.
It's a law of averages. Like if you try
Yeah.
hard enough and you persist hard enough, like it's going to work. Like just give
Yeah.
it time, consistency, and like hard work. Like it's going to work.
Yeah.
There's no like way you can fail unless you give
Yeah.
up. So
Yeah, and I totally believe that, you know, even if you do fail or like, you know, it just doesn't work out, you've probably learned a whole lot of stuff from it.
Exactly.
And you can
exactly.
definitely use that in the future with whatever
Definitely.
you do.
Definitely.
Self-growth comes with failure. It's like, wait, failure?
Yeah, no, I think you said that right.
Did I say that right?
yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
definitely.
No, I get it. And, you know, I had, because PT was my first business that I started, and I had all that self-doubt, starting my next two businesses almost seems like super easy for me. Like, it
That's so
wasn't
fair.
that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's like you've done it once, you can do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
fair.
And, like, if I don't get any clients from photography, like, what the heck, I've got a really good camera, I can, like,
Yeah.
do YouTube
Yeah.
videos off and, like, take my own photos, so...
Yeah, yeah.
And, like, if lashes doesn't work out, like, it's not a big deal. You can claim the course back on tax.
Nothing is like the be all and end all.
For sure.
No.
And I feel like I've learnt that a lot recently, especially being so young. It's like, well, you shouldn't put that much pressure on anything because
Yeah.
we have our whole lives to live. Like,
Exactly.
Nothing matters so much that it's like the end of your life. You
Exactly,
know, there's always
exactly.
going to be something else.
Yeah.
Even with like relationships, friendships, stuff like that. It's like, okay, like things happen for a reason. You can like move on, and there will be something new.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like even though I love PT like with my whole heart and like I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else like right now, I know in like 5 years time like I don't think I'll still be at PT. Like
Everyone
I have,
says that. Hey.
like I have no idea what I'll be doing, but
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask, like, where do you see yourself or like your brands going in the next few years?
yeah, so I actually want to get a lot into property investment as a way to like kind of like get wealthy in a way.
We love a businesswoman.
So I'm actually gonna have a meeting with one of my dad's friends who's like what's it called, mortgage broker. So we're gonna kind of set up like a 2-year plan for me to like be able to get loans and whatever because you know PT is kind of like hard to show consistent income.
Yeah.
So I need to like write everything down and all that. So that's gonna be my plan, is to be able to do that. But obviously like I have about probably like a quarter of my clients who are like online clients. So transition like my PT clients into online coaching as well as like my like lash clients. I do like to see people to like have that interaction and that social. So if I can have like a lash client a day or something, just like have a talk to someone.
Yeah, so you don't go crazy.
Then that's like super cool. But if I can still do online coaching and still get people results and, you know, share like all the knowledge that I have onto people through being like online, then amazing. And I still like wouldn't mind, like I do enjoy doing PT like in person as well, but I know it won't be forever.
Yeah.
So
But that's the fun in that, isn't it? Like you don't know what else you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Like, you can try other
exactly,
things. Yeah.
There's so many
exactly.
opportunities.
I know a lot of like adults in my life that were like either doing like, you know, like hairdressing or like doing photography, which is really cool, and like being janitors for other places or like working in food, and then they just stop for a second and they like literally like it only takes a moment to sit down and think, wait, what the hell is stopping me from taking a course in medicine or like taking a course in like engineering?
Exactly.
It's because the world thinks there's a time frame for when you can start studying and when to stop.
Yeah.
Like then, like now, they're like nurses. Like they're working in EN, like they're working as engineers in like really big companies now. But they started at like 40, 50 years old. There's no time frame. There's no
exactly.
there's nothing on like a college degree that says you have to be 18 or under to be in this course. Like, there's literally nothing stopping you.
And I think it's absolutely whack that people go to uni at like 18, 17.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
That's so
I know. Like,
that's
you
so
have-
sick though. Like that's
Yeah, like
right,
if you know that's what you want to do, then yeah, cool.
Absolutely.
But so many people just go to uni for the sake of it. I'm like, okay, so I have a couple more questions. I want to know, obviously, like, you're such like a badass businesswoman. So I want to know, like, how did you learn that side of things? Because sometimes I know from experience that can be the hardest part. Like, yeah, you can train people, but like, do you know business?
Yeah.
So how did you learn all that?
I like love business so much. Like I love working for myself, so it's always been something I've been interested in, like when I was younger and even like when I was in school. I would seriously like listen to so many podcasts on like my walk to
me.
school.
Yes.
And, like you're on the train.
Oh my god, I love you. We're
so
similar.
good. And like you'd like read business books. Like I've got like a like little bookshelf in there of like different business books, and like I've watched a million videos of so many different business things. I've had meetings with people who are like higher than me and are more successful than me, and I ask them questions and find out like what did they have to do. Just researching, doing my own researching, and like asking other people. And asking what they did and replicate it.
yeah, that's so good. And yeah, I guess if anyone's gonna learn anything from that, it's to be like proactive yourself. And
exactly. You can't expect just to go in and just think you know it because you don't. And like I'm still learning. Like I always am still asking questions. Like like what did you do about like this situation? There's still like a lot of tact information like that I don't know. So
especially in a generation of like such short attention spans, you can't expect like success overnight.
Exactly.
And like because everyone seems to be like doing things like Vine and like you know, Facebook posts and Instagram posts, and like you post something and it goes viral, and everyone has that assumption that that is how fast you can get famous or success or like views. But the thing is, you can lose that just as quickly. Like you can gain success overnight, but you can lose it again the exact same night. Yeah,
you seriously can.
Yeah. That's over. It's really refreshing to hear you kind of talk about how you like listen to podcasts and watch videos and stuff like that. Because that's how I was with like fitness and competing wise.
Yeah, live and breathe
definitely.
it.
And like for those who don't know, I don't know if you know, but I coach myself like through all of my preps.
Yeah, damn.
And
I think I remember reading that actually.
Yeah, and people always like wonder how, but and I've never heard anyone else say this until now.
Yeah.
You just learn it yourself.
Yeah,
you just
you
watch
do.
the videos, you do the research, you read everything. Like
trial and error.
Exactly.
Like,
the whole world's your coach at this point.
Yeah,
you're like everything. You're learning
exactly.
so
So it's really cool to hear you say that. I think it's possible for anyone as long as you're proactive and you know like how to research. You can tell what's like, you know, proper information and what's not. Like you can see through the myth. But I just threw myself into prep. I was like, why not?
That's it.
Yeah.
20 weeks out.
My first one was a 12-week.
Really? Yeah, damn.
And I lost like 10 kilos.
That's crazy.
In 12 weeks. Like looking back, would not have done that. You know, it's fine. Like I still like. The reason why it worked is because like I had never dieted before.
Yeah.
And so I just like lost the weight. It was great.
And you're already a lean person as it is anyway, so.
Thank you. Yeah, that's so cool. So one last question, which we've been asking most of our guests. What kind of advice would you give to your younger self?
Your younger self.
Yes, like your super younger self.
Like 2 years old.
Before you had all this wisdom.
Okay, I would say self-doubt's gonna happen. Just take it for what it is, but like knowing yourself, like what you want to do, and then just go do it. Like as cliche as it sounds, like ignore the haters and like get rid of like any like toxic people that you can. Like that was like the main reason I had left school, not because I wanted to do hairdressing, but because I hated everybody.
A mood. I hated everyone else.
Honestly.
That's so bad. But
No,
they
that's
just like they
relatable.
weren't into what I was into, and like I would seriously like go to the library at lunch and like listen to a podcast, and
Which
like
you can do too at Built Radio.
there you go. So yeah, like seriously, get rid of toxic people. Surround yourself with the people who are doing the same or are on a higher level than you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
live and breathe it. Like if you love it, like let it consume your life, like in a like obviously healthy way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's such good advice, and I think people are so scared to like go away from what's normal. But yeah, you're a perfect example of how like you can be so successful by doing that. And yeah, I guess
you.
just don't be afraid to step
Yeah.
out of what normal people your age are doing and
Exactly.
anything like that. And just if you have a passion and a dream and just like a gut feeling to do something, go do it.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
It's
100%.
gonna work out. You
It
know?
will. It will. It
You
always
have,
does.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
stopped all the social norms. You didn't finish high school, and
Yeah.
a lot of people were like, "What? No,
Yeah.
high school first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't go to uni." But the thing is, you're still like surpassing everyone that's done that, like going to
Exactly,
uni
yeah.
and school, and like sometimes school isn't for everyone, and that's what me saying. Everyone quit school right now, but like. Because everyone tries to use that as an excuse. Someone on YouTube said just quit school because the thing is like that's just what works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to find what works for you. Like that's
Yeah, it's
all
just-
like it is. Hey, like,
Yeah, it's just like you don't need to do what's normal.
Yeah.
And I was always against that. Like when I was in school, I didn't go for an OP. I just studied as many certificates as I could.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
I have like 6 different certificates. Just
Yeah.
because I wanted to like have as much knowledge as I could and be prepared
Yeah.
for the real world,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone else kind of just you know, went for OPs and like did the normal thing.
Yeah.
And
No, I completely agree. Like
Yeah.
completely. Like if
Still don't know
everyone
what
else is doing
yeah.
it, like I don't want to. Do it. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to. So yeah. No, I completely get it.
yeah, like you were saying, like there's so many people that are doing the norm, and they're still doing it right now, and still don't know what they want. So like, what's the difference if we know what we want and we're gonna try to go for that
Yeah.
in our own way? Because you
Yeah.
can't find success in someone else's shoes. You
Yeah.
have to choose your own path. Like
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so especially like nowadays, there's so many opportunities. Like you
There
can do
is.
anything online. There's like so many resources.
Yeah.
And like luckily today, going against like what was normal is more acceptable, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
But like that's even more reason to just go after what you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
wow. Well, thank you so
I
much.
really
for
enjoyed
having
this.
us.
Yeah, so much fun. Like keep talking for hours. Thank you so much for having me.
No, yeah, thank you for letting us, get into your brain.
Yeah, for sure. So if you have any questions for Jasmine, definitely comment down below. We'll
Yeah.
leave all her information linked below.
Yeah. All the business links down below.
All of them. There's so many.
Take up the whole. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, check out our other videos. Anyways, gotta go.
go.